when I introduced you as an agroecologist, right? So, and it's fair to say agroecology has been in the news of late in terms of it has more momentum and a lot of people are talking more about it. So can you help us understand like what is agroecology?
Thanks for that. I think agroecology, I'll use very simple terms.
Okay.
Agro and ecology. So agroecology is about growing food in line with nature, like the natural principles. So for example, you're not using pesticides on your farm because you like for different kinds of animals to thrive, or microorganisms to thrive on the farm. You're conserving water, you're using seeds that are climate resilient, for example, or they are acclimatized with the weather patterns of your area. So agroecology is just farming in a way that is in line with nature. So you're not harming the environment in the process of growing food.
Yeah, and why do you think there has been, a lot of interest into agroecology and a lot of people having, wanting to be involved with agroecology? What do you think is the reason behind it? We see a lot of NGOs also promoting farmers to adopt agroecology.
I think agroecology has been there for a while now, and I think since time immemorial, just that maybe the farmers didn't have the term for it, but agroecology has been there. I spoke of, when I started, I spoke of my grandparents, right? And they used to grow food and they were intercropping. For as long as I remember, our farm had millet, sorghum, cowpeas, pumpkin leaves. For as long as I remember, there was no single time where our farm only had like maize. No, there was no single time. So agroecology has been there. Maybe the term is what the farmers did not have because it's a purely scientific term. But I think agroecology is more like addressing the needs of the small scale farmers. And that's why a lot of organizations are actually embracing it and adopting it and, recommending it to other farmers, for example, who are involved in conventional agriculture. But agroecology focuses on the use of locally available resources. So if farmers want to use indigenous seeds, agroecology promotes the use of indigenous or locally relevant seeds. Agroecology promotes the use of locally available resources, like manure, compost, all that. Conservation of water, agroforestry. There are trees that are actually very essential in farming that provide a lot of mulch or can be used to control pests and diseases. So agroecology does that. That's why we actually recommend it to farmers, and that we see a lot of the land is actually dwindling, and this is agricultural land, and for various reasons. So of course there's urbanization, and we see like in areas like Nairobi or like Kiambu, Kiambu is a very fertile area. But we've seen a lot of, buildings coming up and all that. So that means that the agricultural land is actually reducing. And so we need to make use of what we have. And that's why we're recommending agroecology, because, it promotes diversity. So crop diversity. On a small piece of land, you can be able to actually grow a lot of food. So we're recommending that based off of the importance or the value that agroecology brings, as opposed to like industrial agriculture that is heavily focused on monocultures.